just follow up, watch recordings. If you've not watched the recordings, practice on your own. Just do your own thing than for me to be adding more assignment or giving more assignment. That was why assignment was not given last week or in the past 1 week. And I know I made mention of us starting a UI design challenge. Yes, that is still going to kickstart. It's going to be for 30 days. So we're just going to start from the 1st of May, which is next month, which is literally next week or next 2 weeks. Yeah, I just want us to start from that particular date. So we're going to be starting from the 1st of May, which is next week, Friday. Yeah, next week, Friday. That is when the UI design challenge is going to kickstart. Apart from that, there's still going to be an assignment I'll be giving at the end of today's class and in the next class before the challenge starts, because we're still going to have a class next week, Wednesday. Before the UI design challenge starts on Friday, there's still going to be an assignment given then and all of that. So let us kick start, or let's go in. Since nobody wants to ask a question or say anything, let's continue with what we have for today. So welcome to day 6 of this very class. Day 6, week 6, right? Yeah, I think that's it. So you're welcome. So today we're going to be looking at the design of a landing page or a home page. I'm going to be doing it and you're going to be seeing how I'm doing it. And yeah, then after that, if there's still time, we're going to be reviewing some design on the live call, some assignments, and then some design that you guys have done. I know I gave an assignment on profile card, and then some people just I not give an assignment on the last class we did was a sign up page. I not give an assignment on that. I know say you should go and replicate or you should go and do that, but some people just willingly took their time to do that, which I have seen and well done. But most importantly, I still want to review some information architecture because I think that's like the last assignment I was giving in the side projects that you guys are doing. Yeah, so I would want to review that. So let's go into the design of a landing page. In our last class, we looked at a simple sign up page for a mobile app design. We're not designing any particular mobile app in particular or any particular website or anything. We just totally started designing that mobile that screen from scratch. It was just like a sketch. Let me share it up instead of showing something else. Okay, yeah. Sorry guys. Yeah, this was it. This was what we designed in our last class, and we did it on the call from beginning to end, step by step. If you do not know or if you did not see it, you're supposed to have watched the recording to understand what was being done. And we did that so you can in terms of UI design, shape, color, input field, text, just using a lot of things and navigating it and going about it and all of that. So that was the essence of why we designed this, and we still preview it. We clicked on our preview it, and saw how it looked like at the end of the day. I just want someone to tell me something they learned from the design of this sign up page. Just tell me something you learned from when we did this last week or when we were designing this last week. Anybody, anyone, something you learned that you know you can always use or you can always implement even as you go ahead or go on in the course of your journey as a UI UX designer. Something you learned from designing this sign up screen. Can you guys hear me or nobody want to ask on it? Okay, since nobody's gonna say anything, let me look at the set of people we have on this call. Okay, Okon Agriti. Sorry if I did not pronounce the name correctly. If you can hear me, can you unmute your mic and answer my question? Okon, can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, I can hear you well. Good evening.
Okay, good
Okay,
evening. Welcome.
thank you. So, okay, from the last class we had tried to find out knowing the exact measurement for the screen size of your sign up page so that it doesn't look too big or too small. I think that was what stood out for me, and also getting the color palette, how to derive color palette. Yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for that. Well done. Okay, I'm going to call you people that I know have not probably seen their name before or heard them. Honor, can you hear me? If you can hear me, can you unmute your mic and say something?
Yes, man, I can hear you.
Okay, can you answer the question? What was something that you learned during the course of designing this sign up screen that you know you are going to be using or you can use during your journey of a UI or being a UI designer?
I learned about um,
Yeah, Honor, you can go
some
ahead and say
sites.
something.
I learned about some sites we can use for the design, whatever, like notation.
Oh no, your network is breaking. I'm sorry about that, but your network is breaking. Samuel, can you hear me? Martins,
Yeah,
Chimwaya.
I can hear you.
Okay, please, can you answer the question?
I had a bridge in my network. I had to connect with my phone now, so I just came in when the other speaker was talking. I didn't hear the question right.
Oh, okay. I was asking that, can you just share with me something you've learned or you learned when we were designing this sign up screen that you can see on your screen right now that I'm sharing, that you believe that it's something you learned that you can use in the journey of being a UI designer. So that was what I was asking.
Oh. In all honesty, I've learned how to use Figma to be able to create the for because I think we use Figma for the login page, like the first login page, and then for the sign up page. So I think I've understood how to be able to create, be creative, and then apply my creativity to something, and then build up this. I don't know how to put it. I don't know the exact words to use, but then I've, I think I've been trying out like different things on my own, like trying out different sign up pages after this class, and it has been coming out well, I believe.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Let me see who else. I'm just looking through the list of people we have here, and some names I know are sound that look strange. Yeah, Uche. Oh, I'm not gonna pronounce the second name. Let me not pronounce it wrongly. Uche, if you can hear me, can you unmute your mic and say something?
Good evening, man. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Um, for now, I learned. I'm still. Well, I'm still. I will not lie, I'm still learning how to use this color because I don't want to have a color riot. I like the pattern. I've been learning like how to use color so that I'll not be putting blue in where pink and putting
Yeah.
putting red in that. Understand? I'm trying to know how to use color because I feel like color is essential in
Yeah, it
to
is.
attract to attract maybe attract someone like attract user. If the color is not good, so it will attract the user. So I'm still learning how to use color. I'm trying on my own also to learn how to use color because
Okay.
I'm work on the
No problem.
size and the size. Yeah, that's what
Okay,
I've.
learning is a journey. It's not something you just learn overnight. So the more you practice or the more you implement your skill, the more it works for you. And that's why I want us to even do a UI design challenge where every day you get to design something, because so you can at least use that to um be better at your UI skills, because UI and UX, they go hand in hand. If you could do all the UX processes and finish, and at the end of the day, the final, when it's not time to implement it into your UI design is not looking appealing at the end of the day, it doesn't make sense. So you have to know both, or both of them go hand in hand and all of that. So yeah, well done. In terms of color, you can just one thing I do is that when I want to design any particular product, I do research, because I go online, I search, this is the product I'm designing, or this is where the product fits into. If it fits into probably a health tech, fintech, edutech, and all that, then I look at similar products and which color they actually use, or probably a color scheme or a color palette. Then just choose for them. Go to Apple Store or Play Store, look at that, look at the colors they use for that particular display. If at the end of the day, the product I'm designing, they don't have like a particular brand color around it, but if they have like a particular brand color from their logo and all, you have to like just pick a color from there to use. So yeah, that's that for that. And then you have I don't know if I've made mention of this on the call before, but let me just say it now so I don't forget again. You have sites you can go to get inspiration when it comes to design. The truth is that being a designer or being a UI designer, there's nothing that you want to design today that is not existing. That's just the honest truth. There's nothing you want to design, no matter what it is, that is not already existing in a certain way, in a certain form, or in a certain pattern out there. It's already existing. What you're just doing is trying to like improve on it, or design something better, or just a little bit or a little tweak of what is already existing there. So nothing is stopping you from going out there to search for that particular thing that is already existing. Pick one or two things, steal one or two things, still like an artist. Don't just steal because you want to just replicate everything that is there. No, you can bring like five particular designs or five particular screen of one particular, of different applications, different page, put them into your workspace. At the end of the day, when you put them into your workspace, you can pick one thing from one, pick one thing from another one, and then create your own or come up with your own. You have behance.com. When you go to Behance, Behance, behance.com, you see different designs relating to different things, websites, app, either a health app or a educational app or a fintech app or a logistic app. You can see different things. Just search for it. When you search for it, you see designs of what people them have already done and case studies and all of that. You can use it in your own work. When I was even telling you guys to come up with an information architecture, user persona and all of that, you can still go to that Behance, search. You will see case studies of works people have already done, probably relating to either fintech or edutech. You see them there. You can actually copy one or two things from there. Then you have dribble.com too. Let me search for, or let me share my browser and see if we can search and see them. Yeah, what's just there? Behance. It just shows up. Then you can also use this to create your portfolio. People use this particular Behance site to host their portfolio in terms of design. Like once you've done certain design works, you can publish it or put it out here at the end of the day, and then you host your work and all of that. Yeah, I have an account on Behance, but it's been long I posted my work on there and the rest. But when you go there, you see work that you can do, then dribble too. Let me be opening dribble on the background. Okay, yeah, this is it. So you can see both for graphic works, website, landing page. So you can just search for anything. Let me search for Probably you want to design a home page for a particular product. Let me search. Okay, I think what we're supposed to replicate today in class is a landing page. Let me search for landing page. I'm not streamlining it to any particular product or any particular usage. So you can see these are different landing pages that people have designed. So it's there are difference from when you design something and then you are presenting it. We're going to do design presentation at the end of this learning process, probably the last week we have or so, when you are done with when we are looking at how to go about portfolio presentation. Or so we're going to look at design presentation, how you can present your design at the end of the day. So you are done designing, how do you present it, how do you push it out there? So these are different designs you can see. Let me click on this one so you can see this is a particular landing page. I don't know what it's for, but like it has information. It's like a case study. You can read through it and then you see what the product is all about, the problem, the challenges is meant to solve. Then you can see the UI pages at the end of the day, the color system they use, the color style, text, and everything. You can see everything. Yeah, so I think this is the main landing page at the end of the day. So you can scroll through it and all. So this is what Behance is there for. It's just like how like it is now. Yeah, it's just like a social media, but for designers. Yeah. I think that's it. It's just like a social media platform but for designers, where you can see work, people's work, and all of that. So you can scroll through it. You can see a lot of design relating to different things that you might be looking for at the end of the day. So yeah, then there's Dribble too. Let me go to Dribble so we can see. Those are like the two popular ones that is off my head right now, but there are others. There are still a whole lot others out there that you can see design inspiration. Dribble is more for like one design screens. Like probably you just did one design screen, two design screen, three design screen. Why Behance is more for like case studies, like you designed an entire project or an entire case study. That's what Behance is for. So like now in this Dribble, now you can be seeing, you can see screens, one screen of like probably a mobile app, a dashboard, and all of that. Let me open this. So that's what Dribble is for, or you can use Dribble for. So you can just see like three screens, two screens of a particular UI design. So you can search depending on what the product is all about, and then you make reference to at the end of the day. So yeah, if you open my, let me share this tab. If you open my own Behance or account, so this is what I have here. I have like a website design I did. Although these are old designs, I'm still trying to work on my portfolio or work on other projects to put on there. This thing is taking time to load. It uses network, so I don't know. Okay, yeah, okay, this one has loaded. This one is a this is a landing page I designed, and it's more like an NFT landing page and all. So this was it. Then I just uploaded it here. Then let me look at, there was one case study here. Okay, yeah, this was an this was a case study for a ebook mobile application I did. So you can see all the things that went in, from the project overview, goals, problem statement, persona, user flow, sketch. Yeah, the paper sketch and all the wireframe. Then these are like the main screens or the main apps at the end of the day. So yeah, that's just that for in terms of inspiration, or where you can see inspiration to do things or to get things. Like I said, there's nothing that you want to design today that is not existing there. It's existing out there, but you can just copy, pick one or two from there, and then it helps you in, the thing is that it helps in your growth, or it helps in your improvement, because whatever you're feeding your eyes with, if you wake up every morning and say, okay, when I wake up every morning, I'm going to spend 30 minutes or just 1 hour scrolling through Dribble, scrolling through Beyond, scrolling through. There are other ones too. I'll just paint it, scrolling. Like I'm not doing anything. I'll just be scrolling through it, looking at designs. The more your perspective will be changing towards certain things, the more you will know that okay, like just be doing it every day, every day, every day. It's not like you are going to your Figma file now to go and design or anything, but just be doing it every day. The more your mentality or your thinking will be changing towards certain things. If it's color, the more you will be seeing things, your eye will just be seeing things. But when you are not seeing those things, when you are not looking at it like every day, seeing what people are doing and the rest, it will be difficult for you to actually improve in certain ways at the end of the day. So that's that for that. Let us go back to our what we have for today, or what we're going to be doing for today. So yeah, I think that's that for the questions, or for me asking people about what you've learned so far. So yeah, this was what we did last class. Okay, I wanted to share the preview of it. So yeah, this was the simple sign up screen we did, and from this we did a lot of things that you can learn, or that you can implement, or that you can practice with. So today we are going to be looking at, because it's one thing to design for mobile, like for a mobile screen. It's another thing to design for a desktop screen, or when you're designing with desktop frame and the rest. So I said we're going to be looking at the redesign of a desktop page. So this was the initial one. This is just the initial one I put here, so that you can just see what we are trying to do, or what we're trying to replicate at the end of the day. So this is like a landing page. I'm going to explain some certain things when it comes to landing page. Let me preview, or let me open a particular website from my browser. So when you're okay, it has opened, but let me open this one. So you have your no, I want to open. Okay. So okay, yeah, let me use this. So you have when you're on a home page of a website, or a web page, is either it's a website or a web page or a web app at the end of the day. When you click on that link, or you click on the site, or you click on whatever the URL is, where it takes you to, or the first page it takes you to, is known as the landing page, or the home page. Yeah, anyone, home page, landing page. The two words can be used interchangeable. So it's known as the home page or the landing page. So it's just like the first page you see on that website or on that web app at the end of the day. So this first part that is being reflected on my screen, this first part that is being reflected on my screen now is known as the hero section. Like the first part you see before you scroll, and then you start scrolling to wherever you want to scroll to, is known as the hero section. This first part like this of this page is known as the hero section. This first part you are seeing, this part that you usually see, is known as the hero section of a landing page or of a home page. Then this part here where you see most of the redirectory buttons and all of that is known as the header. So this is the header of a landing page, where you see the logo, you see the redirectory buttons and all of that that you can click on, is known as the header. Then this is the hero section. Then you now have the body. So this particular part that you're seeing, where you now see other things that are being in there, is known as the body of the landing page. Then when you scroll to the end, this last part here is known as the footer. That's what is being called. So this is the footer of the landing page, where you see some information in terms of address, contact info, some other links that you can click on, or that you can see. Okay, Bright, you say there's nothing showing on my screen. Please, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, please, you cannot see my screen. It's your network. Just try and rejoin. So this other part, this last part that you see is known as the footer of the landing page. So that's just the basic information you need to know when it comes to the design of a landing page. So let's go back to our design, or what we're trying to do. So yeah, let me open a new page so we can see. So the first thing I'm going to do first is to select my frame as usual. Please just listen attentively, follow my arrow or follow my cursor. If you do not get when we're designing the sign up screen, this is another opportunity for you to get on how, for you to get how some tools are used and all of that. So I'm going to select my frame first of all. So since I'm designing for a website or for a web, when you mean web, is something that you have to open. When I use the word web, just know it's something that you have to open on your browser. It's not a mobile app that you say, okay, you have to go and download it from like Google Play or Play Store or all of those things, and then it's like a mobile app. Is a web. You have to open it on your browser and probably sign up or log in from your browser. So since I'm designing for web, so I'm going to select my frame. And the frame I always use when it comes to designing for a website or a web app is the desktop frame. So that's what I always make use of. So I'm going to select desktop frame. So this is it. Once you click on your frame, your shortcut, you can use F on your keyboard for shortcuts for frame. So you see it here. It might be closed like this. When it's closed, you just come and open it. Open desktop. When you open the desktop, you see MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, MacBook, and all of the rest. But I just make use of this main desktop. So I've selected it. So once you select it, this is what appears. So when this appear, one thing you should take note of is the fact that do not change the what do they call it? Do not increase the width, because if you increase the width, this is the width. If you are increasing the width, you are entirely distorting the actual dimension of how all the things you want to put inside that frame, or of how things are supposed to be. So you don't increase the width. Let me Ctrl Z undo. But you can increase the height, because eventually whatever you want to put might still be as long as possible. So you can just increase it before you start designing. You can increase it to any length you want. It does not matter. At the end of the day, while you are designing, you can, if you don't design up to that length, you can reduce it back. If you still want to put more things, you can increase it. But please do not increase the width. The width is standard and is fixed width at the end of the day. So the width is standard and is fixed at the end of the day. Sorry, guys. Okay, sorry guys. So as I was saying, do not increase the width, but you can as well increase the height of that particular frame that you've selected. So the next thing we're going to do is to add our layout grid, like I make mention of in the previous design we're doing. Adding layout grid helps in alignment. It helps in aligning your work. So I'm going to add grid. Come here, add layout guide up. So this is the one that will show initially, but this is not the one I'm making use of. So I'm going to click on row. Sorry, not row, column rather. Yeah. So when you click on the column, you can then make changes. You can make changes. To make changes, you see how it reflects. I think for my count, I usually just use 7 or 8. For my count, I usually use 7 or 8. Then for the type, I don't make changes to this one. I just leave it the way it is whenever I select the layout guide. Then for my margin, yeah, most times I change my margin. That is the distance that you see from year to year, which is the margin. And for the gutter, I change it. While I'm doing the changes, I'm saying it. So at the end of the day, I just do it to just know, okay, when I want to align certain things inside this screen, this is how it's going to look like, or this is how it's going to work for me at the end of this. So I think this looks okay. So you can see from here, if you want to copy this or take note of this, if you are doing, if you're practicing, or if you're on your laptop right now, which is what you're supposed to be on. And then you can see the counts. I made the counts 8. Type, I did not change it. It was what was there before. Margin, what I'm seeing here now is 53. What I'm seeing here now is 53. I can just make it 70. Most times I like using round figures. I don't know why. Then gutter, what you can see here now is 39. So, okay, I think I might just use 40. So that's that for my layout grid. So I've selected my layout grid and I am good to go at the end of the day. So the next thing I'm going to do is to design my header. Yeah. So my header first before you go into hero section, then the body, and then you have your footer. So I'm going to design my header inside, like I'm going to create a frame before I put the things I want to put in my header, because it's just going to help me, or it's just going to aid whatever I'm doing. So I'm going to select a frame. When you click on frame, you see this plus sign that shows up. So I'll just draw a mini frame here. I just start from the beginning. If you are using your keypad, what you have to do is just left click. Yes, left click, then drag and drop. Drag it and drop it wherever you want to drop it. Sorry, I need to zoom out so I'll see what I'm doing. Let me start again. Let me try again. So drag. So I'm just creating an header. So I'm going to drag it to the ending of where that my main desktop frame started and ended. But then the height, I'm not going to make the height very long because it's my header I want to put, and my header is just contains redirectory buttons and then logo if I have my logo for the site I'm designing. So this is it. I don't know what height it is, but I just use my eye to understand that. But if you check here, okay, the height is 81. Then the width is the normal width of the desktop frame. So this is the header I did. So this is a frame. I just did this frame so that if I'm putting anything inside here for the header, it's going to be inside that particular frame. Okay, let me just continue so you guys will see what I'm trying to say. So the first thing I'm going to put is a logo. So since I don't have any logo in mind, because I'm just designing this without any it's not like I'm working on something or I'm building on something. So I'm just going to use my name as a customized logo there. So let me type my text first. Text. Then I have to make sure anything I'm typing, I have to make sure I'm going to be typing in that part that I added that frame. Although you can't see it because there's no fill color attached to it at this particular point in time. But if you come here, you can see that you have your desktop one, you have your frame one, and you can see that this text now I want to type is inside this frame. If you cover it, if you click on this drop down arrow, you can see that it's just this desktop and this frame you have now. So let me go back to typing my text. I don't know if I should do this, or I would have just selected a logo because this is going to consume time. But yeah, let's do it. You might learn 1 or 2 from it. So yeah, this is the text. This is what I want to use for my logo, but I'll try to make it look like the way I want it to look like right now. So first of all, I'm going to change my font. I don't like using this font. So I'm going to see the font I used in my previous sign up screen. If I created a distance for this nice style guide for this, it would have just helped me and saved me time later. But we're still going to local dots. Yeah, I'm going to use that font. This is it. Yeah, this is the font I want to use. Then the size, I'm going to increase the size. What should I increase it to? Because I'm trying to create a logo, which I did not have, but I'm trying to create it from scratch. So color, I'm going to change the color. To change the color, you come here, you see color. Sorry, guys. So let me close my layout grid so I'll see how the color I want to select to look like. I'm going to stick to the previous color I have for now. I think I had a blue color, or I used a blue. Yeah. So I want to use 2 different colors in this particular logo. So what I'm going to do now is to change the color of one of the names. Although I typed them as the same text initially. If you don't want to type them as the same text, you can type the first text, select your color, type the second text, select your color, and all of that stuff. But I just typed it as one text, but I want to change the color of one particular text in that single text I typed. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense right now, but you have to change the color of just the second name. So what I'm going to do is just to highlight on this second name. To highlight, you left click and then just drag, just move your keypad. So I'm going to change it to another color. So let's see. Let's use this. I'm going to use a lighter color since the blue looks dark. So yeah, I want it to have this particular color. Let me show, sorry. Let me open my layout grid. And then it should start from here. It should start from this edge here. And then I have to just make sure it's at the center. It's aligned to the center of this frame I initially draw. So I'm going to tap on it and then come here to align vertical centers. So if I click on align vertical center, you see it has moved. So it's aligned to if you click on your Alt key and you move it around or you hover around, you can see that the distance between this text and the top is 30. The distance between here and here is 29. So that's like a fair number for it, showing that okay, it's aligned to it. So that's just like a simple logo I want to create or design. So the next thing I'm going to do is to input other text like my home, about us, and all of those stuff. So I'm just going to type my text, come here again. First one I'm going to put is home. Semi-bold 18. I might reduce this, but if I reduce it, it might be too small. So the best thing I'm going to do is, okay, let me just reduce it for now. Then I'm going to preview. Remember we talked about our present in the last class. While you're designing, please be looking at your preview, because there are some things you say, you look at it and it might look too big, it might look too small, the color might look too bright, it might look too like, it might just look okay, but when you preview it, you actually see how it will look like in the actual terms at the end of the day, or in the actual format is meant to be. So let me click on the present. So when you click on present, it automatically takes you to a new tab. When it's done loading, I'm going to share the tab. Still loading. So this is the home. Then after home, the next thing I'm going to type is probably about us. So I'll just Control D, text. Then which other one again? Let me look at what I was replicating. Home, services, about us, articles. Oh, nah, I'm not going to put all of them. I'm just going to put like 3 or 4. So let's say home, services, about us, contact us. Then the main call to action, which would be either sign in or log in. Okay, let me share this tab now. I've previewed it. This is how it looks like. This is just how it looks like right now. So you can see the home I used, it was 16 in terms of the text size, which looks okay. I wanted to use 18, but probably because I wanted to use 18 and I just already knew that 18 might look too big, but let's see. Let's use it and see how it will look like here. I've changed it to 18. Okay, so this one is 18. Sorry guys, this thing is affecting. If I go up, it comes this thing comes down. So this home is 18, and you can probably see how it looks bigger than this about us, which is 16. So I'm just going to stick with using 16 for it. Then I'm going to make sure, okay, it's semi-bold. I'm going to leave it as semi-bold. Then for this one, I know I use semi-bold for this one, but I'm going to put it as bold. Yeah, because I'm trying to give that logo effect, which I don't have. Then yes, leave this one at semi-bold 60. And this one I used 18 for it. Okay, this is extra bold. Extra bold might be looking to extra, but let's see how it looks like in the preview. Yeah, that looks okay for the preview. So yeah, so I'm going to work with it. Then this was our about us we did. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put, oh, it has a duplicate already, sorry. I'm going to put both of them I'm going to group both of them together using my auto layout, or put them together using my auto layout, so that as I'm creating multiple ones, all I'll have to do is just change the text, it just automatically arrange itself. Let me do that so we can see. So if I select, I'm going to select both of them, just these two. I'm not touching this one. So Shift A, I've added both of them together using auto layout. So you can see here. Oh, sorry, I'm sharing the wrong tab. Let me Control Z and see what I was doing. Okay, yeah, so this is the home text we wrote. This is the about us. So I said I'm going to put both of them together using auto layout. If you come to this your design tree, you can see your frame one, which is about us, home, this. So this is just this particular frame now. So if I want to move this frame around, you can see that everything is moving because they are all inside a particular frame at the end of the day. So I said I'm going to put this about us and this home together inside one frame using my auto layout, so that as I'm creating multiple text, because I still have other text I want to create to still be in that header, they are all going to be like just automatically arranging. You're going to see, but let me just be doing it. So you have your home and about us. Just make sure you're selected on both of them or highlighted on both of them. Press Shift A. Once I press my Shift A, you can see it has added, and it automatically just arranged itself. So the next thing I'm going to do, if you come here, you can see that you have your auto layouts, you have your alignment and all of those stuff. So before I come here to start doing all the sentences, I'm just going to type everything I want to type on here first of all. So Control D. Once you click on Control D, it just automatically creates another text. You don't have to start moving it to where you want to move. So I said I wanted to change one to services. Services, yeah. Then the other one should be contact us. Yeah, I think this is just the main redirectory buttons I want to put in this thing. Then I'll come here now and do some adjustments. For this gap, I'm going to do this gap. Let it have more gap because there's still space in my header. So let them breathe. So I'll give them enough white spacing. There's no particular number or any fixed number. I'm just arranging it. The more I'm arranging it, the more I'm seeing how it will reflect at the end of the day on my screen to know where I'm just going to stop. Yeah, I think that's okay. Then for the padding, you can do a certain padding if you want to. Then you can do this too if you want to increase it, but I just want it to be within that frame, because if I use this particular if I use this particular padding, it's going to be like it's just expanding and expanding, and it's going to go outside my frame. So I don't want that. So I'm just going to leave that. I just use this horizontal padding for that. Then I'm going to no, not yet. This is still okay. I'm going to align it to the center because I want it to be in the center of this desktop frame. So from here to here, I want this to be in the center of it all. So, okay, it looks like it's already in the center of it. Yeah, so that's that for that. So the next thing I'm going to add to my header, or the next thing I'm going to add to what we have here is my call to action button. So I'm going to add my call to action button. So we already looked at how to create button in when we're looking at this sign up page. You looked at that already, so that's just what I want to add here, because you can either in your web app or web page or any of them you are doing at the end of the day, you can either decide to sign in on it or create account. If it's an e-commerce website where you are meant to come and shop, you are meant to have like a redirectory button to say, okay, shop now, or either you are adding to cart, or a call to action button at the end of the day, and you want to still make it visible at the header of your website or of your web app at the end of the day. So that's just what I'm going to be adding here. So the first thing I'm going to do is to type my, so the two ones I'm going to add is create account. Let me go back to the this thing we have here. Okay, them they don't, this did not even have like a particular call to action button. The only one here they had here was discover more. So I'm going to add two. I'm going to add a create account, and I'm also going to add a contact us, or I might just leave it at create account for now at that particular header. So I think that is the only thing I have left to add to my header before we go into the hero section. Sorry guys. So to do that, first of all, I'm going to type on my text. Please, if you have any question, we're going to take the question, but let me just wrap up with this thing. So I'm going to use auto layout. I type my text. After typing my text, I'm going to click on Shift A. Once I click on Shift A, it has added it to a auto layout. I'm going to click on Fill. Once I click on Fill, I'm going to change the color. So I'm going to use the color I have from here, which is this. So it's both blue and pink we have. I'm going to be using the blue. Then I'm going to change the main text inside, because you can't have blue. You can't have black on blue. That's not accessible at all in terms of accessibility. So I'm going to change this inner text to white. Yeah. So this is what I have here. Then I'm going to make sure it is aligned vertically to that frame I created, which I'm using for this. So yeah, this is this. So I'm going to open my layout grid. Then I'm going to put it at this edge of my desktop. While I'm moving, changes are being made. I'll come back here again. Make sure it's aligned vertical. That means there's an even distance from this top to here and from here to this other frame I created. Then I think I'm going to increase the height a little bit, increase the width and all of those stuff here. Then I'm going to make here look a little bit bold. I'm going to use bold since it's a call to action button. Then I can decide to put a corner radius, but I don't think I will. I want to design this distance without using a corner radius for most of the distance. So yeah, I think that's that on all what I want to put in my header. Let's preview. Let's go to the preview and see how it looks like. So this is a very, very, very simple header. So this is the preview, and then this is how it looks like. We have the logo on the left-hand side, the top left-hand side. That's where logos are meant to be. If you are designing a website or a web app, your logo is always meant to be at your top left-hand side. Then you have your redirectory buttons, home, services, about us, contact us. Then you have your call to action button. Sometimes it's not necessary. There's no necessary call to action button when you're visiting a particular landing page. Sometimes it's just to give you information about that particular company, or give you information about that particular product, or give you information about that particular platform. Most times there's no call to action button, but if it's like a product or a services or a service, yes, most times there's a call to action button that either you have to like create an account, you have to sign up, you have to purchase now, you have to buy now. So if there is one, you find it at the top right corner of your header. It doesn't mean that is the only place it's going to be in the whole landing page. It's still going to be at other places, but for that header, that's just how it is. So any question before we move on?
Yeah, good evening, ma.
Good evening, Jimo.
I got lost at where we have the home and about us, where you make use of like highlighting, how you highlight it, and also turn it to what's it called? Sheet A.
You got lost, and I don't guess. Are you done asking the question?
Yeah, I mean, after when you have home and about us, I turn it to auto layout and you
Oh,
space out.
okay.
So I don't know how you're able to highlight the two together. But I've been trying it here, I'm not getting it.
Okay, I'm going to come again with that. Let me just duplicate this. So we already have this as like a template. So what I did here was, let me delete this. Okay, I first of all typed my home page. Let me delete. So I first of all typed this. I first of all type home page. Then after I was done typing this home, if I say home page, I first of all type home. After I was done typing home, I just duplicated it. Control D. Once you Control D, I duplicated it there, moved it from on top of the main one. Then I changed text. To change the text, just press on T. Seems like I'm too fast. Let me slow down. Oh, let me slow down. So Control D. So when I duplicated it, I dragged it from away from the main one. Then I changed the text. You can change the text. Instead of duplicating, you can decide to type another text. So it's not a must, you must duplicate the one you have here. You can decide to come type on your T on your keyboard and start typing another text or so. Me, I just duplicated my own. So it still uses the same, it just uses the same settings that that first text have. All I have to do is just to change the content or the write-up of what is inside. So then you can come here, click on your T, then double tap to highlight it, so you can just start typing a new content or a new text. So what I want to type is services. I hope that, okay, yeah, I hope the spelling is correct. So then after doing that, I then selected on the home page and the services to create an auto layout, so that because I still have more things I want to type and all that, so that it's just going to help me in the alignments and all. But if not, you can still come again and just keep on typing your text. Type another text again. Sorry. You can come again, type another text again. Once you type another text again, then when you are done with typing all of them, you now come and be using your hands to arrange it and align it. So I don't want to do all of that. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. So I then selected the two texts, highlighted both of them and added them to auto layouts. How did I do that? You press on the services, you click on the service, if I say press, you click on the services, click on your shift key on your keyboard, you click on the home page. It has selected both of them. Or you can just right click. Then once you right click, I'm moving this thing. Make sure you're not clicked on anything. Right click. Then you come and then you highlight it. But most times when you do that, it highlights other things here. So it's better to just type on one particular text, press your shift key, type on the other, click on the other one if I say type. Click on one particular text, press your shift key while your hands or your fingers are still on your shift key, you click on the other text. So once you've clicked on both of them, when you see that you have clicked on both of them, it shows here, in this part you can see services, you can see your home, both of them are selected or highlighted. Then you press your shift A, which is your shortcut for your auto layout on your keyboard. So when you press shift A, it automatically add both of them together using auto layout. So you can come here now and see you have frame 4, you have your home and services inside it. If you close this drop down arrow here, you can see it has closed. So you can see that inside this frame we initially draw. Sorry, why is this frame is shifted? So you can see that inside this frame we initially created, you have your frame 4, you have your logo, you have your frame 4. So inside this frame 4 now, if you open it now, you have your home, you have your services, you have those two. Then you want to still add more. So all I will do now is just to be duplicating both of them, and then you just keep on. So if I duplicate this service now, Control D, you see it just automatically brought another one. I change it to whatever I want to change it to. Control D again. You see, it has automatically duplicates. I change it to whatever I want to change it to. So that's all I want to do. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to click on the frame and make sure I'm clicked on that frame mode that has that auto layout. It's not like I clicked on just one particular text in it. No, I'll click on the frame. Then I'll come here because there are some settings I want to do, and I just want all of them to replicate for it to show everywhere. So first of all, this gap, I'm going to give a certain gap or a certain distance. I do that. Then padding, I can decide to come and do a certain padding, but I'm just going to leave it the way it is, or just add a certain padding. Then for horizontal padding, you can do that. So you can do whatever you want to do at this point in time. Then at the end of the day, I'm just going to align it to the center of this entire desktop that I'm on. Because you can decide to leave it here, but me, I want my own to be centralized. Yeah, so I aligned it horizontal center, so it's in the center. So that's what I did for that. Then the next thing I did was just to do the create account. I don't know if you've gotten a certain explanation, is if you've understood Jimo. If not, please just try and you said you were practicing or you were doing it. So just try and keep on doing it to get a hang of
Um,
it. Please.
oh,
Any other question? Please can you mute your mic? 'Cause I think somebody's mic is unmuted. Why?
Good evening.
Okay.
Good evening,
Yeah.
everyone.
Good evening. Please go ahead.
My question is about the layer grades rather. That's your margin and your gutter. That's the figures you added, your margins and your gutter. So are we supposed to have like? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Are we supposed to have like a specific figure for each margin or gutter? That's for mobile screens and desktop screens, or are we just going to like adjust the spacing to like say okay it's good enough?
No, there is no specific figure. It's just most times it's just when you keep on designing over time, you know what works or what can actually go into place. Let me open the layout grid and see what I used. Like initially, when if you select this layout grid, me most times for me, that's what I'm trying to say. It's not like a specific. I use between for this count, I use between 7, 8, 9 for both mobile or desktop. Sometimes I go on up to 10. So it just the more you keep on designing, the more your eye tells you that okay, yes, this particular thing will work for what I want to do on this particular screen at the end of the day. For the margin, you can see the one I
It's
used
work.
here
It's okay.
for
It's not work
this
though.
for this desktop. You can see 70 I used here, you can see 40 I used here. When we're doing that, let me go back here. It's still on the same file. When we're doing this mobile design, be mobile view, you can see here, okay, it was still the same 8 I used. Sef. I think that was still the same thing I used for that desktop just now. But you can see that the margin, I did not even make changes to this margin like the way I made the changes to for the desktop view that we're designing. Then you can see that I made changes to the gutter, but it's just 20 compared to this one that we're doing here now. So it's just the more you do or the more you design, the more you get a hang of what might work at the end of the day. It's not like there is a very stamped or specific one to use. Please, does anybody have any other question? Any other question? So everybody has been following with what I've been saying since. Yeah. So, Queen Ruth, she said that you're not understanding anything. Why? Don't be on a live call and not understand anything. No, that is why you are joining the live call. Don't waste your data or waste your MB on and being on the call and you don't understand anything or you're not picking one thing from what will be said for over an hour or so.
Ma,
So why you don't understand anything, Queen Ruth?
the speed, the open screen.
Ruth, are you on this call or you've left? Okay, you're asking what software are you using? Are you just joining today? The software I'm using is Figma. Oh. The software I'm using is Figma. If you go to your browser, just type Figma, you see it, sign up. It's just follow the sign up process and you're good to go or you're good to do what needs to be done at the end of the day. So please, please, please try and follow. So nobody have another question to ask. Me, I'll ask
ma
my own
also
question. Yeah, Jimo, go ahead.
concerning how you place these what's it called the header. So we have home and the like. Is there a way you actually place it on the grid?
Sorry, your background is noisy. You say concerning the way I place the header.
Yeah, how you place the header? Is it according to like should we do it according to the grid or we just
Uh,
place it in the neutral ground?
you're
Yes, ma'am, I
so,
can hear you.
so Dick, please ask your question.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
My question goes thus. The grid and the grid line, the grid line that was placed on the frame, do you have another name that we can call it?
No, that's the name that you see here, layout guide. I used to even call it grid self. It's supposed to be layout guide. This is the name here, layout guide. So once you select it,
Because
grid, there's column, there's rows. So nice to make use of the column own. I don't use row, I don't use the grid own, but it does not mean you cannot use it. So it's
okay,
layout guide. There's no other.
okay,
Yeah.
because I come across something. It says that whenever we are using this, it said this maybe low fidelity design, maybe a design that doesn't you haven't specified the color or something like that. So you have to be using the grid
You can
before
use
you
it anywhere
now.
you want to use it.
Okay, thank you.
If you are still designing
Thank
low
you.
fidelity design and you low fidelity is like designing a, let me go back to this thing that we did here. For this particular designer, if I was to design it in low fidelity, it will mean that I'll have just this text will not be here, this text will not be here, this text will not be here, all this text will not be here, color will not be here. It's just the shapes and the rest. So you can just you can still use your layout grid there, or you are still going to use your layout grid there because it's what is still going to aid you in the alignment of where to put one thing, where to put another thing. So at the end of the day, when you're adding your text and your color, you might not as well need it because you've already used it for the main thing that you're using it for. Why do I use layout grid? Why did I put layout grid? So it's for me to be able to align whatever I want to align in terms of where to place my shape, the distance between one point and another. That's just so. Once you are done with your low fidelity design, you might not really need it when you are going into high fidelity. Like this particular designer is high fidelity design because it has everything. It has the shape, the text, the color at the end of the day. So that's just that. I'm just trying to say that in relation to what you said you saw. So we are done with our header. So the next thing we're going to do is our footer. So I'm just going to try to what I've forgotten the word I wanted to use, but I'm going to try to make this as much open as possible in terms of things I'm going to try and all, so we can learn or see how what and what can be used. So I'm going to select my frame first of all. I'm going to use a particular different frame because this is another section from the previous section that we have. So I just selected my frame and draw it. So I'm just going to make sure this is not overlapping with the previous one. So you can zoom in. When you zoom in, you see, so you can see that there's a double line. So it's kind of overlapping. Let me come back here again. Okay, I have two desktop frames, so let me just delete one. Oh, I've deleted the wrong one. Sorry. This is the one I duplicated. Let me delete this. Yeah, so this is the one we have. So I'm going to open it. So I added a particular frame. I don't need this frame to be inside this one. So right now it is inside. How did I know? Because once I click on my Alt key, you can see that there's like an overlapping double line showing here. So I'm just going to remove it. So this is the frame I drew just now, the second frame. Okay, sorry guys about that. So as I was saying, this is the frame. So I'm just going to use my up and down. I'm clicked on the wrong frame. I'm going to use this to bring it down. Yes, I'm bringing it down now. So this is how it's meant to be. So to just show a particular red line, like before it was inside this other one. So I just use my arrow key that you have on your keyboard. While pressing on your Alt key, make sure you are pressed on your Alt key on your keyboard. Then you can move. You can always move it up, move it down, just like that. So you can see that if you move it more, you can see that there's a distance of 6, meaning they are not close to each other. So I want them to be close to each other. Let there not be no open, let there not be any opening rather or space.
Sorry, ma. Sorry, ma. Sorry, ma. Good evening,
Yeah.
ma. Sorry, I don't get how you drew that line. The one you are just drawing now.
Okay. Okay. Click on whatever you want to click on or whatever you are clicked on. Click on whatever you are clicked on. So if you are clicked on this, so I remember I drew a frame just now. What I want to use to do my hero section. So I drew another frame. So if you are clicked on it, if you are not clicked on anything, you will not see that arrow or line. So I'll click on my frame, then press your Alt key on your keypad on your desktop. Your key that is close to that key that is close to your space bar key, your space bar key on your keyboard. Once you press on it, make sure you are still clicked on it. Then you move your cursor around. Once you move it around, you tend to see your arrow. So just move it around, you tend to see it. So these kinds of give you like a certain dimension or distance and all of that. So once you move your arrow, you see it. So just make sure you are clicked on anything first of all. Press your Alt or Alt key, then move around. You see it. Like this one now, make sure I'm clicked on this. So moving around, just move your distance around, it tends to come out. So you can see it, you can see the distance between a particular point and another point, just like that, like that. So if I clicked on this my frame now and I press on my Alt key and I move it around, I can see the distance between this frame and this other frame. I can decide to take it down if I want to. If I'm taking it down, you'll see that a particular number will start coming outside now because I'm taking it down. But I don't want any space to be between them. So I'm just going to close this up. So I'm closing it up with my arrow on my keyboard. Just be moving it up, moving it up, moving it up until you see nothing. So that's how I did that. So the next thing we're going to do is to select a color. So I want to use a different background color for this or to play around color here. So let's see how that looks like. Remember, it's a frame I selected. So I'm going to fill it because it doesn't have anything in it right now. Even this particular one that we did, there's no particular fill color in it. You can still decide to add a fill color. Probably the fill color can still be anything, but this is the one I want to add a particular fill color to. So I'm going to work with these two colors here, which I have initially from the logo I just created. Sorry guys. So I'm going to try to work with instead of using just solid, I'm going to work with gradients. Gradients gives a different feeling or a different color vibe to your color or when you're using color in a particular point. So once you come here, all these things that you see, this is the one we'll be using since, which is solid. Solid is just solid, one color. Then you have gradients. Gradients can move from, you have linear, which is what you are seeing now. Just be looking at the distance. When I'm changing it, you see how they will change. You have radial, which is this one. You have angular, which is this one. You have diamond, which is this one. So I'm just going to stick with linear. I don't need so you have two colors, right? You can add another color. It must not be only two. You can come to this middle now, add one, come here, add another one, come here, add another one. And while you're adding, you can come here and change their colors. You can change the individual colors that you have there from one color to another. You can change them. You can make changes to them as much as you want. So I'm not going to use 3 or 4. I'm just going to use only 2. So let me Control Z. I just did that to show you guys how that work. So this is the first one. This is the second one. So I'm trying to then you can turn it around. If you turn it, you can see the distance, or you can see how, sorry. You can just turn this around. Once you are turning it around, you can see how it looks like. Just right click on your keyboard, and then you can drag it out to be out as much as you want. You can drag it out, put it in anyone you want to do at the end of the day. So it just gives this two color vibe to what you're doing in a particular way or in a particular form. So let me see. So I think I'm going to leave it like this, but then I'm going to reduce, I'm going to change a particular color for one. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Well, this one you're reacting with an upside down thumbs up. What is the issue?
I can't see your screen. I don't know if it's from my own end.
Okay, can you guys see my screen? I think it should be from your end.
Yes, we can. Your screen is clear.
Okay, I think it should be for your end. Please just try and rejoin. So I'm trying to just select. I think this might waste my time. So I'll just leave it. I wanted. Okay, let me Control Z to the initial one that popped out. I don't use this same color. Oh, I'm just going to reduce it from here instead. I don't want as much light color as possibly. That's just what I'm trying to do. I don't need this light shade of color. Now let me see if I can use the blue but in a lighter shade. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to just create a particular blend of this thing on this hero section. So I think this works to an extent. You can preview to see how it looks like. So yeah, this is the preview. So this was the color I just added. So apart from adding a color, one thing you can do, you can still add image. If you want to add image, I know I've already told you guys how to go about adding images and the rest. Probably you want to make this your hero section, the background, to be an image instead of a color before you start adding your text or information or content and all of that. So you can come, still click on here, go to your, you have the image already. Sorry, not from there. Then you can come here. I want to add image so I can still show you guys how to go about or how to navigate some image this thing. So let's select an image from a plugin rather than going to my files on my laptop. So there's one particular plugin you can see images from, which is Unsplash. Apart from illustrations and the rest, you can see images in this particular one. So if you click on Unsplash, just type Unsplash, you see it open. Tap on it, it opens. So yeah, once it opens, this is it. Then you can search for it. You can search for any image you want to search for relating to what you're doing or what you're trying to create and all of that. So since this is a, let me see if I'm going to stick to what I have here already or creating. Okay, yeah, real estate. So since this is a real estate platform, I'm just going to search for house and see if I'll see anyone relating to that. So yeah, you can see images to use for free. So you can select anyone you want to select. I'm not going to scroll through some as much as possible. I'm just going to select one and go. So I'm going to make sure I'm tapped on this. So once I select the image, it just enters this particular frame in terms of size, width, height, and all of those stuff. So once you tap on it or select on it, it replicates. I believe you guys can see that, or you can see my screen. So I've selected my image. So probably I want to use a background image for my hero section instead of using a background color and all. So I've selected that image now. So the next thing I'm going to do, you can edit this image. Sorry, guys. You can edit it in color. Because this image is like this now. You can't say you want to start typing a particular text on it and all. It's not going to look very accessible in terms of viewing and the rest. So there are still other edits you can do here. All these ones are just the normal basic edits to the image, remove background, edit with prompts, blah, 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 and the rest. But this is not the one I want to look at right now. You can come here. You can add, you can reduce the opacity of this image. You see that as I'm reducing it now, it's taking the background color, which I initially had in that frame, which is this linear color. So that is why you're seeing this particular color effect that you're seeing on that image. So you can decide to remove it. If you remove it, you are just going to see this. If you remove it, this is what you are going to see. But it's because you have that particular, let me control Z, you have this particular background color. That is why you're seeing what you're seeing here. So you can decide to still change it and put another particular background color. Let me add another one. Let me just add black. Let me remove this one and add black. Nah. Then I increase it. So you can see that this one now has black on it. It's black I have here. So, okay. Let me increase this image, first of all, to the way it was before. Then you can see the black. So the more you increase the black color, if you increase it to the end, you just be seeing your black. But you can reduce it a little bit, then you can still come here again, reduce your image opacity a little bit, but I won't advise that from what you are seeing here. So I think I'll work with this so that when you're not typing a text on it at the end of the day, your text is still going to be visible. Your image will not be competing with your text that you have on that particular background, because you still want people to be able to read the text you have or see the text that is on there and get the information at the end of the day. So you don't want your image to be competing with your text at the end of the. So that's that for that. So this is one thing you can still use again if you want to use a background image instead of just sticking with a color or all of that and the rest. You can even decide that this background color should be probably your primary color that you have instead of using black, or be part of your main color. So you can add this. You can still add black again because it gives it that particular dark feel, but you still be seeing a little bit of the bluish background color at the end of the day. So the more you play around, the more you see what you want. Then you can still decide to, you can decide to add effects too, especially when it comes to having an image as a background. So you can decide to add layer blur. If you add layer blur, you can see that the background is kind of blurry. I don't know if you guys can actually see what I'm trying to say, but you can see that the background of this image now is kind of blurry, so that when you put a text, it will not be looking like, it will not be competing with your text at the end of the day. So that's that for if you don't want to work with a background color, you can add an image. If you don't want to use an image, you can just stick with using a particular color and all of that to your design. So let's come back here. So the next thing I'm going to do now, let me open my layout grid. Next thing I'm going to do is still, instead of using I'm going to add an image before I add the text and all to one particular side of the design. So let's go to the plugin. I went to, let me just go here. I think I'll see it here. Yeah. To make do of this. Oh no, it's going to enter. I don't want it to enter this Ctrl Z. I don't want it to enter my frame. I just want it to enter the design. Yeah, I just want it to be, if I was selected on a frame, it would have entered that frame. I don't need that. I just want it to be normal, so I can just put it in my design. So I'm going to resize it, pressing K on my keyboard. I press K, I resize it, then bring it inside my frame. Then I'm still going to resize it to scale. Let me remove this layout grid. You can see I'm still making use of this layout grid though. I'm making sure that anything I put here is starting from this particular part of this my layout grid. I think because I have a dark background color, now this layout grid is not very visible. So I'm just going to try and increase the color of this layout grid so that I can be seeing what I'm doing in this design. Equal. Yeah. So now you can see that I'm still, so let's click on this so you can still increase it. Sorry, I want to increase it to scale. So the main image remains. So I think I'm just going to work with it being here. So it starts from here to here. Then I want to increase the height. Let me see how that is going to look like. Okay, I can increase the height, but you can see if me increasing the height, that means I have cropped up some excesses from the image because I did not increase it with scale. I did not increase it to scale, so I did not increase here, like, because if I wanted to increase it with the actual scale I have, which is this one. I'm going to leave it at move, which is this V. Then once you increase it, you can see that if you come to this image that you have here on this particular settings. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Okay,
We
can.
can.
just wanted to make confirm that. Okay, so you come to this particular image settings here. So once you come to this image settings, you can fill, fit, crop, anything you want to do. But you just crop, I want to crop now. So there are some SSs of this image that is out here. So, and there are some SSs here. But I want this particular part to be here. So it's just more like this house is just going to be at the center of it. Then this other SSs and go out.
Yes, we
So
can see your
that's
screen.
that. Okay. That's that for that. So this is this. Then I'm just going to make sure it's at the center of this particular frame I selected. You know, I first drew a frame that had this background color here. So I'm just going to make sure it's aligned vertical center. So okay, it is already. So I'm going to shift G. So this is what I have for now. Then I can go ahead and put my text here if I want to. You can still decide to put your image here, then put your text here. Anyone, there's no particular, is it format or particular way. It's just make sure that whatever you're doing works with the human eye or the view, or works with some certain UX principles and all of that. So there are still other things I can do to this image because it's looking just so there. Probably I can decide to reduce the opacity because it's looking so bright to me. Maybe just make it reduced a little bit. They probably put an outline or something. Just make it look not just a plain image that is there sitting. No, I don't think an outline works. So let me just leave it like this. Let me go to my preview and see how it looks like. Because while you're designing, make sure that you are working or your preview is being, you're working hand in hand with both of them. So this is it. Then this was the other one that we selected, that we used an image for the background. Then this was the one that we're using a background color before using an image and all of that. So let's go back here. So the next thing I'm going to do is to type a text. So I'm going to type, oh, sorry, I'm not even sharing. It's still on the preview. So I'm going to type my text. Click on T, come here, type my text. So what's the content we have? I'm just going to recopy this content here. Sorry, we provide architectural design and construction. So this is the text. So one thing I'm going to do now is I'm not going to type my text and leave it like this on my keyword section. No, because it's the first text that your user will see when they go to that web page or when they go to that website. So I'm going to make it bold, attractive, and something that will call that when you're seeing it and you'll be able to read it, and then it still passes the information you're supposed to get in minutes or in seconds at the end of the day. So I'm going to come here, see how I'll just increase it. Then once I'm done, I tend to realign it. So I typed the text in just one single text line. You can probably type individual, and then start arranging, but it's better just type it in one single line. Then you can come here. You can also now come to this ending part. Once you come to this ending part, just make sure you're left clicked on your keypad, then move, increase, reduce. You can do all of that. So I think I'm just going to increase it to 2 line, provide architectural design and construction. Then I'm still going to increase this. Although I feel like if I preview now, it might be looking too big, but let me just work with that. Let me increase and see. No, it's not a must. You must use a particular text size that is here. Most times, the one you're looking for self will not be there. You can just type in what you want and work with that. Okay, I think I'm okay with this. Then I want my text to start from here and probably should end here. So in that case, I might have to reduce something. Let's see if we can put it like this. So what I just did was the alignment. If you come to this part of your text, you can see align center, in the sense that the text is going to be written like this instead of just written from this edge to this edge. So anyone you are doing, you can go to your preview and go and be seeing how it's reflecting or how it looks like. So let's see this one. First of all, I'm going to make it bold because I want it to be big. So I'm going to make it bold, and I'm still going to reduce the size a little bit. Yeah, sorry. Oh, I want to move it. Yeah, right click. Sorry, left click on your keypad, then you can move around. So I want to move it a little bit. Yeah, that's why I wanted to do that. I want to move it. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this one and construction. Then move it. So let's preview and see how it looks like. Because right now I feel like this is not really. The preview is still showing the old one. Let's reload. Most times you just have to reload the tab for you to see the updates or changes being made. You guys can hear me, right? And I'll be like, I'm talking to myself again.
Yes.
Okay. So while that is happening, let me just make my own decision from here. So I think I'm not okay with this.
Is it just me or I can't hear anything no more?
I can't hear it also.
I can't hear any sounds, so I think my side.
Hello.
Our network is bad.
Sorry, we can't hear you again. Maybe your mic is on mute.
Our network is bad. She logged off already.
Let's
Oh,
refresh
I
session.
noticed now. Logged off actually.
Yeah, at the beginning of the class, they mentioned something about a network. So let's just hold on.
Hello, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can. Welcome back.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, we
sorry
can now.
about that. My network got disconnected. I was even talking or was still talking and it stopped. So let's just I'm sharing my screen. Okay, yeah. So I just okay, I reduced this image size. I reduced the image width because I'm trying to give an even distribution between the image we have and the text that I'm creating here. I need to preview this thing so I see how it looks like. I don't know why this is not these are still a loading since. But that's that. Let's just work with this and continue. No. Then I said I want to add the text here. Okay, this is it. Finally, the preview has worked. So this is what we have here. And I think this is okay for now. It could be better, obviously. It could be better, but let's just. Then one thing I can do too is I can come here because there are so many settings you can work with. I can decide to give a letter spacing. Here is in auto, but I can decide to remove from auto and then give a certain spacing. Oh, why am I not saying how this thing is implementing? Okay, I think I'm just going to leave it the way it was before so we can make progress. But you can decide to play around all these text settings that you have here to see what actually works. So for the next text, I just typed a text input field. So, and then I just copied the previous text that was in this other part. Yeah. So this is the text. I think I'm just going to type it because this is using the other fonts that is there. Text. With more than 100 building and housing projects that we have built. Okay, instead of typing this, I'm just going to use lorem ipsum so I don't waste time in typing. So I'm just going to use a dummy text to fill this up. So I'm just going to go to my plugin. So Lorem Ipsum is where you can actually see, or you can select dummy text to use. Like if you don't have the actual contents of what you're meant to use, what you're meant to write on, you can just use Lorem Ipsum, select a particular layer, and then it generates a particular text based on that layer. So you can select your words, paragraph, anyone, sentences, depending on what you want, and then it just generates it. This looks so big and long. Ah, oh my god. Okay, it's the font weight. The font weight is big. That's right. I can't feel it just now. I just need it. I think for I'm going to use 18, and then the text is still too long. Let me just delete a certain half of it. Why is there? I think it was not just 10 distance selected. Why is this thing so long? Okay, I'm going to just delete this. Yeah, so this is what I want. So I'm going to increase the distance of the text. So this was a dummy text. Then I'm going to change this to regular because it's just a text I want to be under this. I think I'm still going to reduce the size of this a little bit. Then the color, I'm going to use a lighter, or I just want the color to not be so bold. Although let me look at it at the preview, because like I say, when you're designing anything, the more you design, the more you view it. You might think it looks okay there, but when you now preview it, you see it and be like, oh, this thing is actually looking, it's actually fine like that, rather than just jumping into conclusion. Okay, so I think this is it. This looks okay, but I just wanted to like a lighter shade. Yeah, probably if I use a certain, so what I'm just going to do now is just to reduce this white. There's other color code you can use instead of just reducing this white to a reduce this thing, but that's just this one I'm going to use for now. And no, it's not like I'm putting it to the extent that it's not readable. No, it's still readable. You can even use medium safe for it rather than leaving it to this thing. So let's see. Yeah, I think this works for what I wanted. Then after that, I'm just going to add the call to action button. I'm not going to create anyone again from beginning. I'm just going to add this one that is already here. The call to action might be something else, but I'm just adding this one here so it saves us some time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to group or select these three and put them in auto layout so it can align properly. So I'm just going to select, press on my shift key, select, then press shift A So they've been added to auto layouts. I can decide to just leave them at this edge. I can decide to give a certain gap between each of them. I think the initial one that was there might work. Let's just see. Okay, you can decide to do a certain padding. Yeah, I'm not going to adjust this because doing this is going to adjust it first. So yeah, so you select that, then I'm going to align it to the vertical center of whatever we have this particular frame. We have the particular frame here. So yeah, I'm going to align it to that center. So let's preview and see again. So yeah, this is this. But I feel like there's a little bit of space going on here. So let's in your preview you can press on Z. Like if you are pressing on Z, like once you're on this preview page, you can press on Z on your keyboard and then it's going to be moving or refitting it, or you come here and press on this. It's going to show you different screens and different formats, but you press on Z, you just see it like this. Press on this, yeah, this is the one that it's fits to scale, so it's the exact way it's meant to look like. So there's one more thing I'm going to do that I hope I see what I want to see or I get what I want to get. I'm going to create a drop dash shadow effect using this on this header, so that once I'm going to I want to create a drop dash shadow effect on this header, so that it's going to, once you are seeing this header, you're going to be seeing like a certain effect. Let's do it and see, instead of me to be talking. Let's see. This is it. I have to select a few. Okay, effects, drop down shadow. Let's see what we can create. Let me zoom it in. I hope I clicked on the right this thing that I'm creating drop down for. Yeah, this is it. Okay. Yeah. So let's see. Like I always said, when I'm creating drop down, I like selecting from either of the main color. This thing is not showing, and that could be one reason that I think this is supposed to be ahead of this so that you can see it more. Mhm. Okay. I know what the issue is right now. Let me select a few color first of all on this frame, because this frame is just empty. Like there's no fill color. If you remove it now, this is what the frame is like here. It's just taking the background color of that. So let me select a fill color, click fill, it automatically just takes this white, so that once I'm doing that drop down effect, it shows or you can see it. So this is what I was trying to do, because I was wondering why the drop down was not showing initially. So yeah, I'm just going to move around using a lighter shade. Then I'm going to work with these. The blur should be a little bit not too pronounced. Just so you guys can see what I'm doing. This X, I think this one does not really have any effect right now. You might not see much of it. Okay, you see it from here. X in the sense that when you have your X and Y axis, X is moving it out. So I don't want to move it out or move it from the beginning. So I'll just leave it at 0. Then Y, yeah, Y is like it's coming down. So I don't need too much of it. So I'm just going to do a little bit, then spread. I don't need it to spread too much. I don't need it to spread too much. The main thing I'm going to look at now is this blur, so that it just blurs. So it creates a certain effect. Let's go to our preview whether we're going to see that. So what is the preview again? So if you Probably you might not really be seeing it here. Okay, wait, let me do a particular prototype setting. So I'm going to put this in a fixed position. So when I'm scrolling, it's going to be fixed. Like I click on this particular content or click on this particular header. So fixed is just going to stay in one place when I'm scrolling it. So you see that particular effect that I want you to see right now. So let's share this tab. So this is it. So while I'm scrolling it, you're seeing it's not very obvious, probably because this background design is competing with it. Or if you scroll it to this particular part that is a white background, I think you can see it's like you can see like a certain shadow effect, which is now making this particular header stand out. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm trying to say. That was done or created from the um background shadow effect. So let's go back to the top. It's still showing here, or if you look at it, there's like a certain effect showing from year to year. So that's that for that. We're going to stop here today. It's already 10 o'clock and I want to take questions from you guys. And then there is an assignment. So is there any question? Please, you guys should come in your question.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
this is the
I have a
assignment.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so my question is on the Lauren Lipson, how to navigate the Lauren Lipson, and then the second question is the plugins, how to get the plugins.
You said how do I get the plugins?
Yes, that's the second question, but the first question was the Lauren Limson.
Okay, which of the plugin exactly? Or just any plugin? How to
Yes,
get
just
any plugin?
yeah.
Okay, you come to these actions. That's the name that is written there. Also, I just call it resources. So once you click on it, you see all, you see assets, you see plugin and widgets. So once you click on this plugin and widgets, you see plugins. Then you can search. There are a lot of plugins you can use, but the more you design, the more you know which one you want to use or where you want to use them and all of those stuff. So once you just search for here, you type a particular plugin. All these ones are the recent plugin. I think we've looked at Tinta Shade, Story Set by Freak, Iconify, Unsplash, Lorem Ipsum. That is why they are showing here as recent. Then these are other ones I've probably made use of. So you can search for any plugin here. Once you search for any of them, click on it, it runs. Then you can save them to your files. So let me remove this one. Now this one was already saved before. I've removed it. If I remove it, let me search for it again. So I will show you guys how to save them to your plugins. Or REM Lorem. So this one, okay, this was what I did. So if you so if you tap on it, this is it. So you can save it. So once you click on this save, you can either decide to run it. When you run it, it's like you're playing the plugin to do whatever you want to do. You click on save. Once you click on save, it saves to your plugin. So all you have to do is probably right click. Once you right click, you go to plugins, you see them here, and then you can run last plugin. So for this Lorem Ipsum I used as my last plugin, let me go to plugins. Let me use this other side. See recent plugins. I just tapped on it. Once you tap on it, it pops up. Then you see a write-up that says select a layer to generate either placeholder, text, or images. So you have to be select on a layer. If you're not selected on a layer, it can't work or you can't activate it. So what I did was is dummy text I want for this one. So I clicked on my text. When you click on your text keyboard, oh god. Yeah, once you click on it, I just kind of draw, like I dragged left click, drag and drop. Then it shows you like this is like a dummy, this is like a text holder text folder input I created, I mean text folder box I created at the end of the day. So now this now changes, so you can now pop up or select what you want to select. Select. Let me select 5. I think I selected 10 last time, and it was so 5. Just I don't need paragraph. I just need a line or a sentence. This thing I've left. Why is it just showing part? I want to just drop that menu. It's not showing anyone, so you can just generate. So once you generate, it generates it, and I think it's looking so long because it's not in like a full, because the placeholder is like the width of the placeholder is so small. That was why the text was looking long. So that's that for that. So what was the second question again? Ocon,
Okay,
right?
the
You're the
second
one that
question was,
asked.
yeah, sorry. The second question was on that Lauren Imson, but I'm saying that the Lauren Imson is actually a plugin.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Any other question? Okay,
Um,
while you guys are going on to your question, I think I was sharing the assignment. Yeah, please go ahead.
I wanted to ask. So the same way we eyeball the margin figure, is it the same way we eyeball the padding and the space figures?
I don't get what you said. Come again. Is it in auto layout they are talking
Yeah,
of?
layout. I saw when you were adjusting the padding and the spacing, that's the gap. So are we just going to
Yeah.
eyeball it?
Are you just going to what? Above?
If we are going to like adjust it to make it look good like that, by
Okay, yes, you can adjust it, but it depends on where that particular content is or where that particular content is placed. The more we design other things inside this what are they calling landing page, the more you can see how you can work with padding, horizontal padding and vertical padding. For here now, where this particular thing is placed, you see I did not adjust this horizontal padding, but I adjusted the vertical padding and then the gap. So yeah, you can
okay.
make adjustments to it as much. I think for this other one that I did here was, where is it again? Yeah, okay, yeah. For this one I used you can see I adjust the cap and then the horizontal padding. I did not touch the vertical padding.
Okay, can I ask why?
Okay, let's do it so you see. So if I should touch this vertical padding now, you see that it was adjusting it and removing it from that initial frame I had before, which was this frame I created here for this header. So I don't want that, or I don't want that adjustment. That was why I did not make any changes to it. I did not give a vertical padding. I just left it the way it was initially. And I just gave a horizontal padding, which was this. You can see that you can see the changes of the horizontal padding here. So it was just the horizontal padding I wanted to work with. So I did not want to work with the vertical padding. So I just left it like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So for the assignment we have, this is the assignment. So you can just start. I don't expect you guys to be done or finished between now and the next class, because there are still other things I would have wanted to talk about in terms of landing page before this assignment goes out totally, but you can still just start. So remember the Nairaland website that we all looked at in terms of laws of UX. So you're going to do a redesign of that using you're going to do a redesign for desktop. It's a website or a web page, so you're going to be using your desktop view to do a redesign of the Nairaland website. So you can actually start now or start tomorrow after this class. So I'm going to give a submission deadline, but for now that's the assignment.
Sorry, you mean the entire website?
Yes, not the entire website, so just the landing page. Let's go to it itself. So I will explain. I don't need you to design multiple screens or design 5 screens or 3 screens or the redirect to just the landing page, a big home page, just this page. Just this page. That's what I need you to design, to redesign rather. Just one page, a landing page finished. That's what I need a redesign on. Is there any other question?
Yes, ma'am. Please,
Okay.
the video recording will be available by tomorrow so that we can start practicing and then do the assignment. Hello, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah, I can hear you. You said the video recording should be made available.
Yes, I hope the video recording will be available
It's
tomorrow.
yeah.
Okay,
Yes, it
thank
will be made available tomorrow. Any other question, guys? Um, I hope you. I'm sorry. Why are you crying in the chat box? What happened?
No, nothing, nothing. I was just when I saw the landing page of the Naira line, I just well, I think that it's a bit complex. I would say, though, but we'll
Yes.
try.
Okay. Just try. Give it a try. And I just want to see what you can do or see what you can achieve at the time. I just want to see what you can achieve because you guys did a UX survey, Abi UX. Yeah, it's more like a survey on it when I gave the assignment on laws of UX. So you've already noted what should have been there and what should have not been there. Except you did not do the assignment. That's why it's good to do assignment. If you not do the assignment now, you will want to start from scratch. But if you did the assignment, you already know what should have been or what should have not been there. So all you have to do now is to now enter your Figma workspace or your Figma board to start making that particular changes. Am I right? Or is that not what you're going to do?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
that's just
actually, that.
what I'm giving you as assignments basically. Because now you've known some certain UI principles and how to go about designing some certain things. So I'll just give you that assignment now to go ahead and do that. So I think right now we're gonna call it a 9. It's already past 10.
Sorry, ma.
Yeah, Jimo, you have a question?
Yeah, concerning the assignment, are we replicating? Because I don't get very well. Are we replicating the website the way it is, or we are
No,
making
God forbid.
improvements?
You can never replicate this website the way it is for me. My God, you not allow it. No, no, no. You are not replicating this website the way it is. You are doing a redesign. You are going to make improvements to it and redesign it entirely based off your knowledge in both UX and UI. That is what you are doing. And like I said, it's not an assignment. I'm not rushing you guys. I'm going to give a deadline, but yes, it's not something you are submitting between now and the next class. So take your time, but I want to see your progress. If you design header, design hero section, you can reach out to me. I see your progress, comment, and all of that. But and then the first thing I made in this class, or the first things I said in this class, was about your where you can get inspiration from and all of that. You can still look at them. Search online for. I think this is a news website, that'll be a news platform. Search for ones that already exist and see how certain things are like and all of that. But you're not replicating. There's a difference between replicating and redesigning. Replicating means where you see this Naira Lad forum, you go to Figma, write it. Where you see welcome guests, register, login with Google, trendy, recent, new, you write it. Statistics, you write it. Search. No, yeah, that's not what you're doing. You're redesigning it and making it better and have putting some certain improvements in it. Are we clear on that?
Ma, I have a question.
Okay.
Ma, on your design, I was thinking that you didn't maybe put login. You just create down, create account. I was thinking maybe you put login at the side. of your
Yes,
creating
you
account?
can put login in the one you are doing. It's not because I did not put, you will not put.
Okay, ma.
If you are designing a website that needs users to log in, probably old user, yes, you put.
Okay, ma.
Yeah, you can do that. Like this was just a random design, so it doesn't have like a particular flow or process. I'm just doing it to show you guys how so certain things should go in terms of color, height, and hierarchy. So yeah. Any other question, guys? Any other question? Okay, if there's no question, we should call it a night. Thank you guys so much for joining and for being part of this. For your assignment, you already have everything. Yeah, you already have the content. You're still using the same content that is on the Nairaland website. In terms of the button, whatever they are doing, it's just for you to do a redesign and make it look better and all.
So, sorry, ma. Sorry, please preview one of your design. I want to see something.
I should review one of my design.
Yes, yes, the preview.
Preview.
Yes,
Oh, okay. The preview of this. Is this what you're
yes,
talking about?
yes.
Okay. So thank you guys so much for joining. We will see in our next class. Don't expect your own work to be exactly the way you're seeing it now on this screen because you are still learning. So with time, it gets better with practice. Practice makes improvements. If you don't practice, that's why I actually feel the pain and frustration of those that don't have like laptop and the rest to practice. Because if you don't practice, you hardly see the progress or improvement. But nevertheless, keep learning, keep pushing through, keep going, and
Don't start.
I can't wait to see the great things you guys achieve. Good night. Bye.
Good night, ma. Good night.
Ma.